Shalom. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing today? As I said I was going to, after uploading my truck talk and all that good stuff, got home, got situated, and here we are. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pick up in Enoch. We're going to go through chapters 6 through 5. This is Rocco. Dude, he is the most stereotypical German Shepherd that I have ever seen. Like, if you Google a picture of a German Shepherd, he's basically, this is what you see. This guy. And, yeah, we're going to go through chapter 6. Yeah. Quit licking me. 6 through 10. And, I really like, I really like 6. 6 is basically picks up, and it comes right out of Genesis. But the thing about it, Genesis 6, when the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took upon themselves wives, all of which they chose, and they bore children unto them. And these were the mighty men of old, men of renown. This was the only time that the giants are referred to as mighty, and they're only referred to that way to explain just how big they were. The original incursions get up to 3,000 ells. Did the math. It's around 4,500 feet. And there had to be some abnormally tall ones. Just as, in life, we got some people walking around who are like 6'5". So, And just to tell you, 6'5" is not the average height. 5'11" to 6 foot is. Okay? Let's just get that right. But yeah, chapter 6. And I just want to let you guys know, all the way up to chapter 10, I did write down a whole bunch of stuff in my notebook, but I got to writing and trying to get the bullet points and the highlights out of each chapter, or out of chapter 10, and it is just long. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to read chapter 10 directly out of the book together. Chapter 6. The first verse opens up, and it explains how that came to pass, that men began to begot beautiful, comely daughters. Verse 2 goes into how the sons of God saw them, and they lusted after them. And they said to themselves, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and let's begot children unto them. And in verse 3, it's talking about how Simjaza, the leader of the 19 angels, or the leader of the 19 chiefs of tens, because there's actually more than just 19. The 19 leaders are named, but it doesn't name the rest of them. Simjaza fears that he will have to pay the penalty alone for a great sin. So he knows by doing this, it is going to be a huge sin. It's going to be a great sin, and it's going to severely transgress God's law, for real. And he's talking about how he fears alone that he will have to face the penalty of a great sin alone. All answered, swearing oaths with mutual imprecations of curses upon one another. And they said to each other, Let's not swear not to do this thing, but to swear to do this thing. Verse 5 talks about how they're all swearing to it. Verse 6 talks about how all in their number were 200 who descended upon Mount Hermon in the days of Jared. And they called it Mount Hermon because of the mutual imprecations of curses that they had placed upon themselves. And it's very specific to say in the days of Jared. Now, we do know that Jared is one of the main patron saints after the line of Seth, with which Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah would come through. But it says specifically here, in the days of Jared. It makes a point to say that. Verse 7 gets juicy. You know that, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers of wickedness in high places. Well, I'm about to actually give you the names of these 19 angels who were the chiefs of tens, who decided that they were going to take upon themselves wives. Okay? Simjaza was their leader. He was the main leader. Arakiba, Ramiel, Kokobiel, Tamiel, Ramiel, Danel, Ezekiel, Barakijal. That's what Barakijal. Asael, not Azazel, Asael. Amoros, Batarel, Ananel, Zakiel, Samsapiel, Tariel, Tarel, or Satarel. I don't know where I got Tarel. Satarel, Tarel, Jomiel, Sariel. These are the chiefs of tens. So yes, we may not wrestle against flesh and blood, although they do use flesh and blood just like the Most High does. Your enemy has a name. My enemy has a name. His enemy has a name. They all have names. It's not like these spirits, these angels are not named. They are. And this is one of the exact reasons why Enoch and Joshua and Jubilees were taken out of the main canon of the Bible. Because they explain to you exactly who your enemy is by name. This is chapter 6 of verse 7. So if y'all want to go back, Enoch 1, chapter 6, verse 7. Verse 7, the number of completion. You're going to get the exact names of the 19 angels who were the leaders on the mountain. It doesn't name the rest of them. As far as I know, I hadn't gotten that far. I've listened to most of this through audiobook while I've been working. And gone back and reread it once. And rereading it the second time is for the study. So if you actually want to know who your enemy is, now these aren't the angels in which all sin was ascribed. We will get to that. But these are the angels, the 19 angels who are the chiefs of tens on Mount Hermon. And verse 8 literally just says, these are the chiefs of tens. And then it goes into chapter 7. And it reiterates exactly what happened in the last chapter. It says they took themselves wives. Each chose himself one. They went into them and began to defile them. They taught them charms, enchantments, cutting of roots. They became acquainted with plants. Funny how all these witchy women like plants. And I find it ironic too, because she's probably, if she listens to this, she's going to die laughing. And she told me she watches my stuff still. She's going to die laughing because she's what? White witch. Taught them charms, enchantments, cutting of roots. Became acquainted with plants. Literally came from these fallen angels. So, I do find it ironic. Not saying something about her, it's just, there's a lot of women who I have attracted and dated over the years, now that I think about it, have been witches. I seem to didn't realize this until right now, but I seem to have had a type in the past for witches. Didn't even realize it. But, here we are together. Verse 2, they became pregnant, bare great giants. Height was 3,000 ells, 4,500 feet, roughly. We're talking about 3,000 ells, which is, an ell is roughly the length of a royal Egyptian cubit. Not a Hebrew cubit, a royal Egyptian cubit. We got to remember that the royal Egyptian cubit would have came first. The first original unit of measurement was the cubit. And I would argue that it didn't actually come from the royal Egyptians. It came from much older, a much older time that was just reused. Because the Egyptians, they really were trying to recreate a lot of stuff that was going on before. But, that's neither here nor there. They taught them charms, enchantments, cutting of roots, became acquainted with plants. When man could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against man and began to devour, turned against them, and began to devour mankind. Now, if you think about it, it wouldn't matter if you were 20 foot tall. Some of the bones that came up from Mrs. Noah's grave site whenever they found it out there in Turkey, her finger bone was like twice, 2-3 times bigger than what a normal like finger bone should. Like one of the bones in her, one of the phalanges, if you will, one of the bones in her finger was like 3 times bigger than what a normal person's would have been. And they reckon that she would have been like some 17, 18 feet tall, something like that. If that's true, then wow. So it really wouldn't matter then if you were even 10 foot tall. If you have a giant that's getting after you that is round about 4,500 foot tall, 3,000 L's, yeah, he'd be able to pick you up and just eat you real quick. It's almost as if you were popcorn. Get out there and go walk 4,500 feet. That's roughly 3/4 of a mile. Go out there and just walk it. Now that's the length of one of these giants that they were just laying down. Get to looking into Himalayan pink salt. Maybe that's where they piled up the bodies. I don't know. After the Clash of Titans. I don't know. They began to sin against birds, beasts, reptiles, fish, to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. And earth made accusation against the lawless ones. And then chapter 8, this is where chapter 8 comes in. And this is where it's all about Azazel, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's about what they taught. But the vast majority, there's 3 verses, or 3 verses basically, if you want to call them verses, in chapter 8. 2 of which are about Azazel. Azazel taught men to make swords, knives, shields, breastplates, made known metals of the earth, the craft of working them, bracelets, ornaments, and the use of antimony, the beautification of the eyelids, all kinds of costly stones, coloring tinctures. There arose much godlessness. They committed fornication. They were led astray, became corrupt in all their ways. All their ways. Do I need to say that again? There arose much godlessness. They committed fornication. They were led astray, became corrupt in all their ways. Samjaza taught enchantments and root cuttings. Amaros, the resolving of enchantments. Barakhiel, Barakajal, astrology. Kokobiel taught the constellations. Ezekiel, knowledge of the clouds. Arakiel, signs of the earth. Sampsiel, signs of the sun. Sariel, course of the moon. And then it says, as man perished, they cried, and their cries went up to heaven. You know, in Genesis, whenever Cain kills Abel, God comes to him and, it says, your brother's blood cries to me. And as men perished, they cried, and their cries went up to heaven. Now we're about to get really juicy. We're about to get really juicy. Because I figure that there's probably some people who followed along in the first part of the study and were thinking to themselves, no, this ain't talking about Jesus. Right here, the 4 main angels, the way that they approach God, they're literally talking to the Creator, Jesus, Yeshua himself. It's just, see, the Word hadn't been made flesh yet. Jesus, Yeshua, is a name that man had for him and that he had for man. That's what we know him as now. But he did say that he was Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. He's King of Kings, Lord of Lords, right? Okay. Chapter 9. Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel all looked down from heaven, seeing much bloodshed on earth. And they said to one another, and all of this, I'm pretty sure I wrote all of chapter 9. I wrote everything in full, like everything. So it's basically as if I'm reading it literally out of the book. They said to one another, "The earth made without inhabitant cries, the voice of their crying up to the gates of heaven. And now you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men, make their suit, saying, 'Bring our cause before the Most High.' And they said to the Lord of the ages, Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, God of the ages, if you think that these angels are not literally addressing Jesus himself, at least as we know him as Jesus himself, the creator of all, and this confirms Jesus' place as the creator of all, as the Word being made flesh, literally. Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, God of the ages. The throne, thy throne of your glory stands to all the generations of the ages. Your name, holy and glorious and blessed to all the ages. You have made all things and have power over all things. And all things are naked in thy sight. You see all things. Nothing can hide itself from you. They are literally addressing Jesus, Yeshua, the Son of Man. Except they're addressing him in another form. They're addressing him more of in the Father sitting on the throne sort of deal. Because we gotta realize that this is the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit are one. It's a holy Trinity. All right? All right. I'm going to repeat this. Oh, this is just so good. I got to repeat it one more time. Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, God of the ages. The throne of your glory stands to all the generations of the ages. Your name, holy and glorious and blessed to all the ages. You have made all things and have power over all things, and all things are naked in thy sight. You see all things. Nothing hides itself from you. You see what Azazel has done. For the people in the back. You get off of me. I rebuke that. That little mosquito landed on me. You see what Azazel has done. You see the devil trying to land on me real quick because he doesn't exactly want you to know what his name is. His name is Azazel, who has taught all unrighteousness on the earth, and revealed the perpetual secrets which were preserved in heaven, which men were striving to learn. Simjaza, to whom you have given authority to bear rule over his associates. They have gone to the daughters of men on the earth, and they have slept with the woman, and have defiled themselves, and have revealed all kinds of sins. And the women have bore giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. Behold, the souls of those who have died are crying, and make suit to the gates of heaven. Lamentations have ascended. They cannot cease because of the lawless deeds which are working on the earth. You know all things before they come to pass. You see these things and permit them, and you do not say to us what we are to do of these things. The angels are like, they're seeing this, and they're like, Yeshua, Lord, King of kings, God of gods, please give us an answer. Please. Tell us to do something, please. We're not going to sit here and watch this, are we? Come on. And then we're getting into chapter 10. Then the Most High uttered. The Holy and Great One spoke, and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech. Who was the son of Lamech? Literally says it right here. And said to him, go to Noah, the son of Lamech. Remember, Methuselah is Lamech's dad. Noah's dad, or Noah's grandfather. Enoch's son. He made a prayer to God after God showed him the deluge that he would preserve his seed. This is God honoring that prayer. Go to Noah and tell him in my name, hide thyself, and reveal to him that is approaching, and that the whole earth will be destroyed, and a deluge is about to come on the whole earth, and it will destroy all that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape. Instruct him that he may escape? Tell him to build the ark. And his seed may be preserved for all the generations of the world. His seed may be preserved from all the generations of the world. Or for all the generations. And again the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudael, and cast him therein, and place rough and jagged rocks over him, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face that he may not see the light. And on the day of the great judgment, he will be cast into the fire. And this is literally right here. It's talking about the great white throne judgment. And heal the earth which the messengers have corrupted, and proclaimed the healing of the earth, that they may heal the plague, and that all the children of men may not perish through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed and taught their sons. And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. All sin. Ascribe to him all sin. Oh. Yep, they're getting home. Well, I'm going to pick this back up in part 2.